As a Black person in corporate America, what things did you have to worry about that your counterparts did not?
One thing about being a young Black woman in corporate America is that there is a grown-ass white man somewhere in the mix acting like you can't do your job. So
I'm the only Black woman at my job, and no one talks about the type of damage that does to you internally. And
sis, I have to tell you, I paid a price. I paid a price.
I'm so tired of being Black in these white spaces around these white people who don't see the value.
I'm glad you're watching, amazing viewer. Thank you so much for your precious time. Thank you for stopping by. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to leave your thoughts, and if you're a returning subscriber, just know I appreciate you and you're there. Today's video is about Black women in corporate America. So those spaces that are predominantly white and have to work in such spaces. How is it like? How is the experiences? From the previous clips you can tell, but there's a lot to that. There's a lot to that. This video is so unfolding. There's a lot, and the few clips that I could put together will tell you a lot already on the things that are happening. Remember to observe the community guideline as you comment. Let's uncover the things that are happening. There's so many things that they're going through, and it goes to the simplest detail of how they even present themselves to work, how they dress, and the expectation, the high expectation that is being laid on them, you know. And yeah, there's a lot that they have to go through. I'll be interrupting whenever it's necessary, but let you enjoy the rest of the video. Enjoy your time.
one thing about me is that if you give me the opportunity to speak on something, I'm going to speak on it. HR wanted to meet with me after revealing that I am not happy with my job. So we had an hour-long conversation in which I also dropped the bombshell about the fact that I'm the only Black woman in the company and how that made me feel. That room was silent. You could hear a pin drop. And what did I do? I let us sit there in that silence because I've been uncomfortable. So now it's your turn to sit here in this discomfort because yeah, it is what it is.
One of my old bosses was the chief administrative officer at a pharmaceutical company, and I actually liked her a lot. She tried to mentor me, tried to guide me through corporate America and my career. She had her MPH and she was Vietnamese, and I will never forget the day she told me, "You have 3 strikes against you in corporate America. You're young, you're Black, and you're a woman." So here's my list for the reality of being a Black woman in corporate America. Number 1. They may not need the degree, but you do. When I was a senior manager in regulatory affairs, I had this boss. She was white. She was the director. Whenever we would have our one-on-ones, she would always tell me, like, go back to school, go back to school. Mind you, I already had my master's at the time. She would always tell me that her number 1 regret in her career is not going back to school to further her education, because every single time she goes out for higher roles, she always feels slighted by the white men. She said it's like they automatically look past her when looking to give people promotions. Now, for the first time ever in my life, I had a Black woman boss. She was the SVP of a pharmaceutical company. And she told me having all her certifications and degrees just gives them one less thing to talk about. I can even say I've experienced this myself. Like, at so many jobs before I got my master's, nobody would listen to what I had to say. As soon as I got my master's, my word became a little bit more valuable, despite the rest of my colleagues not having the same level of education. It's really crazy. Number 2, you're paid way less than you deserve. Don't be afraid to ask for more or leave. You guys know I'm not shy to putting in my resignation. I've mentioned so many times that I've been underpaid by companies. But the one that really irritated me the most was when I worked for this company and the CEO would come and run things by me before running it by the vice presidents. I was a manager. I helped branch out business and keep my clients happy. It was not a part of my job description at all. So when I found out they were underpaying me and unwilling to compensate me what I deserved, I had to leave. Mind you, the white women who were reporting to me definitely were getting compensated fairly. Number 3, there is a 0.5% chance you see someone who looks like you in senior leadership. A lot of these companies want to diversify their marketing schemes, but they don't want to diversify their leadership. They want to understand how to recruit diverse populations in clinical research, but you don't want to diversify your workforce. I've been working since I was 15, and I've only ever seen 1 Black woman in a leadership position. So it's kind of just the reality that I've had to accept, but I hope to be the person I was longing to see all these years. And the last one, this might be controversial, but another Black woman in leadership may not be willing to help you get to the top. I feel like I've seen this a lot in tech lately, but there are so many people who branch into tech or they get an opportunity and they want to gatekeep the information, especially when it comes to senior leadership roles. Some Black people in senior leadership say they want to be harder on Black people to help them prepare for getting to the top. I don't know, I feel like because it took them so long to get there, they want to hold on to it as long as they can. These are just my thoughts.
High expectation of perfectionism expected from people of color, specifically Black women.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. We are working at an entirely different company than our non-Black counterparts. If there's one thing I feel like will always be true, it's the fact that I will never be able to act, speak, dress, move, honestly simply exist in the same way as my non-Black counterparts. And that's coming from someone who's always worked at a new age tech company where they claim that DE&I is a priority. But also as an interracial relationship girly, I witnessed firsthand the disparity in treatment and opportunities. Like I watched my partner work so hard for the things that he's achieved, but also know that I would have to work 5 times harder and probably would not get the same opportunity. So I could not agree more. There is no version of trying too hard as a Black woman because the second you're not doing the most, you're not doing enough.
One thing about being a young Black woman in corporate America is that there is a grown-ass white man somewhere in the mix acting like you can't do your job. So picture this, I'm at work, there is an electrical box outside of my job that has some graffiti on it, and I was asked to take a picture of it and submit a request to the city to have them come and paint over it. Now, my city got shut down because of a cybersecurity attack, so basically they're not doing anything right now. Nothing is going out, nothing is coming in, they're just stuck. Now, I know this. I know that if I put a request into the city, nothing is going to happen because they are shut down. And I tried to tell this man this, but he refused to listen, so I'm like, okay, I'll put the request in. No one's gonna come out though, but you know what? I'll put the request in to humor you. So wouldn't you know it, not a single person from the city comes to paint this box. Who's surprised? Not me. But clearly the grown-ass white man's surprised, because then I get an email on Tuesday when I come back in from Thanksgiving break talking about, oh, they never came to paint the box. What's your reference number? Because they never painted the box. So this grown-ass man is insinuating to me that because the city, a separate entity from our business, mind you, did not come and paint an electrical box over a holiday weekend, I must not have done my job correctly and I must be lying about telling them to come paint the electrical box. Like, what is wrong? What is wrong with you? And it's like, damn, this man stays coming for me. And it's like, although I don't like my job, I like not being unemployed a lot better. So I'm here. So get with it or get gone. I don't know what to tell you.
I've been in the corporate space for a little over a year, like literally a year and 1 month, a year and 2 months. And I just find it very saddening that the standard for Black women is like here. Like you can't, I'm out the frame with it. But the standard for others, and we are the ones, I feel like, deal with having to figure out what can I say, how do I say it, what is appropriate when others do whatever, say whatever, wear whatever. The microaggressions is crazy. Like, so as I'm analyzing this today, I'm like, this is saddening that Black women, Black men have endured this type of foolishness for years. And not only enduring, and yes, there have been exceptions that have pushed through and went on to be VPs and be directors and all these things. So it's not impossible, but the barriers against us make it more likely that a lot of us aren't going that way. I don't know what to say. I thought when I started talking, like I was gonna, it was gonna flow, but I'm baffled. And I just feel like, as someone in Gen Z, someone who's young, I have the world ahead of me. Do I want to run in the rat race? Like, is that what I want? For me, I mean, we all know, I always talk about women, being a woman in sports and wanting to work for the NFL. And that does not mean that some of those barriers don't exist there. But what the lesson is very clear at this moment is that whatever you're working for, whatever you're doing every day, you need to be happy. You need to be doing something that you're passionate about.
This is proof that people do not get how it is to be Black in corporate America. If you didn't see the video where this comment was left, I was talking about the red flags in my office, saying that people just do not respond to emails. So this is advice given to me on how to amend that. Could you imagine if I threatened a non-Black coworker via email? I have sent much milder emails and have had feedback and people saying that I need to add exclamation points or that my tone comes across a certain way. And if I threaten someone, baby girl, it would not end well for me. We don't really have the opportunity to be snarky. And if we do, the consequences are much more severe than, So no hate to you, baby girl, but it's just not a reality for me. It's a no for me.
Tatted out for me. This one white woman, she just did not like me. Never did anything to her. Nothing was always nothing but nice to her. She just did not like me. She reported me to the boss all the time over nothing. So because of what she was doing, because of her reporting me over doing nothing, I had to report to work. I had to tell people where I was at all times. I had to leave sticky notes. If you get up from your desk, you need to leave a sticky note so we know where you are. Excuse me, what? No one else had to do that. And again, only black person in that job. I was the only one that had to do that. And I had to do that because this white woman kept reporting me over stuff that wasn't even reportable. I got pregnant, and that same woman that I know was reporting me, would report me for going to the bathroom too often. I have a baby sitting on my bladder. You think I want to get up every 5 seconds to go to the bathroom? No. But still, she reported me.
The idea that you don't need to care about your appearance in the workplace, or you shouldn't try too hard with your appearance in the workplace, is only applicable to a certain group of people. Because I can tell you right now, as a Black woman, every single time I go into the workplace, people are always paying attention to what my hair looks like, what my skin looks like, how much makeup I'm wearing, what outfit I'm wearing. It's not from the lens or the guise of, oh, you might come off as too attractive, but no, are you put together? Because my appearance almost is as equitable in the eyes of these people, to my knowledge. If I don't look a certain way, then I'm not as smart as I may be. There is no other group of people outside of Black women where people are always looking at, oh, you changed your hair, or oh my gosh, I love your new glasses, or your skin's so clean or so smooth, or oh my God, I love your top, where's your outfit from? There's always this spectacle and this probing of how a Black person or a person of color presents in the workspace. And so when I saw this video of this girl saying oh, you don't want to come off as caring too much, you don't want to wear too much makeup, you don't want to wear colorful clothes or be distracting in the workplace. I get the perspective of not being distracting, but I just feel like this is applicable to certain groups of people, because I've seen my counterparts dress a certain way, and if I even try to mirror how my other counterparts dress, more attention is drawn to me than them. There is this high expectation of perfectionism expected from people of color, specifically Black women, because I'm speaking from my experience. I work in a male-dominated industry, so in a world where I could easily and have been easily mistaken as the office secretary, I would never take the advice that I shouldn't care about my appearance, because it actually matters.
So I just want to start this TikTok by saying I love being Black, and yeah, I honestly didn't even know if I was going to record this. I've been battling with myself if I was going to record, and I just want to talk. But I am so annoyed and frustrated and tired of being Black in corporate America. I'm so tired of being Black in these white spaces around these white people who don't see the value in the true content. And this is not for everybody on my job, and nor is this for all of upper management, but this is just for specific people, because I haven't even gotten on TikTok and ranted about my job in a while, because after I left that factory, because factory life is not for me, y'all. We all know that factory life is not for me. That was a struggle. If you had me on Snapchat, you saw it. But I'm happy with what it is I do. I'm moving in a career path and a light in which it is that I'm really looking to go. So I'm not, I'm content for now. I'm not happy. I'm okay. I'm survived. But I'm just so tired of being a black woman in corporate America and white America. I'm so tired of being, undervalued, overworked, and underpaid. Like, I'm just tired of having to be black and operate in these white spaces that were not made for people that look like me and that are not respected by people that look like me. Like, I just can't. It is just so freaking frustrating. And if you know me, you know, like, I'm a sweet person. I'm a loving person. I have been around, like, anybody and everybody, like, from all shades of colors and hues to the size. Like, I grew up in a suburban community. I went to a predominantly white institution. Like, I have been around the suburbs. I played volleyball, one of the whitest of white sports. I did travel league. So when I tell you I've operated in white spaces around people that are, more racist and feel even stronger than that, and I have never been made to feel how I was made to feel today. And that shit was the tip of the iceberg, and they got to see a side of Harmony that Harmony doesn't show. But I don't care, because you're not going to talk to me like I'm not a human, like, period, because I'm a person. Like, I am a human first. Fuck a color, I'm human.
What I want to say is, don't get too familiar and always have your guard up. Just always know that they're going to become gunning for you after a while. So you don't want to give them ammunition. Again, don't be telling all your business. Don't put your guard down. Have, an origin story. If they start, because they're going to start asking you questions. Oh, are you married? Oh, do you have children? Oh, what about your family? They're going to be asking you all these fucking questions. And please know that just because someone asks you a question, that does not deserve an answer. Every question does not deserve an answer. So you want to have a very pat answer down and be able to deflect. For instance, if they ask you, are you married? And if you do have a husband, you do have kids or whatever, say, yes, I'm married, but I don't really talk about my private life that much. Just put it back on them. But don't give people that information because they're looking for info they can use against you. Next, make the thing the thing. When you get these jobs, know that your time is limited. So you've got really kind of that first 12 months to do what you need to do. So work hard, make your mark, get all the accolades, get all the getting while the getting is good until they turn on you. So that's number one. Get everything in writing with all the good reports and all those things, to be tracking stuff yourself. But also, too, if there's any education they're going to pay for, get your ass in that education stuff. If there's any certifications they'll pay for, get them certifications. If there's any seminars they can send you to, you need to go in there and gank them for everything you possibly can while you're in there during those first 12 to 15 months before they flip the script and turn it on you. Because if they're going to get rid of you, you want to go out of there stronger and more prepared and at a higher echelon than you were when you get in. Next, you want to make sure that you get at least one promotion in 12 months. So if you start out at a whatever, work your ass off to get that first promotion. Get it in 12 months. So again, when it's time for you to leave, you can leave on your terms and leave at a higher position. Next, don't get lazy. Work, be the star, but just know that you being the star, that's got the target on your back. Get a therapist, get a black female therapist to deal with them white people, because they gon' motherfucking try to kill you. So get a therapist, take your vacation days, get your rest, do your self-care, do you, and just be happy, be magical, be love, be the bad bitch that you are, period. Be a baddie, but be strategic.
Sis, I have to tell you, I paid a price. I paid a price, as every black person working in corporate America will tell you, especially if you're in any type of leadership position. And the higher you go, the more pronounced some of the behavior, believe it or not. And I was in human resources. So I felt a huge responsibility for all of my team. I had a big team, and all of the employees in our company. I was already dealing with some personal stuff. And then after the George Floyd situation happened, that literally pushed me over the edge. So I barely survived. In fact, that is when I retired, because I fell into a deep depression that I'm still working my way out of, quite honestly. And when I tell you guys that you're my therapy, you truly are, because you give me a bright spot in the morning to think about something positive and happy. So for that, I thank you. But for all of you all who are still in the struggle, hang in there.
Just for
my Black women, my women of color that work in corporate America. I need to remind myself of this today, and I thought that I would share it with you as well. Your work is so incredible. You are so valuable, and what you bring is uniquely designed for you. And if for any reason nobody tells you that today, just know that. Know that you are incredible in what you do, and you are enough. You don't have to go above and beyond, even though I know you feel that you do. Your work should speak for itself. And if it doesn't, that doesn't mean that it's not great. So, you're tired. You're tired because you feel that you always have to do just more, just a little bit more, just a little more polished. Say yes to just one more project because that's what's been placed on you. And like I said, I'm speaking to very specific people. If this is not your experience, keep scrolling. For those of us that know. And I just want to put that out there. And I want to just share these words of comfort, hopefully to any woman that you might be sitting at your desk right now, scrolling, tired, maybe a little frustrated, feeling undervalued, wondering why. Because that's where I am sometimes. But keep going. Keep doing what is uniquely gifted to you. Keep showing up and keep focusing on the things that fill you up and bring you joy, and lean into the people, because you have people around you that see you and they see what you're doing and they see your value, and they may not be people that can make drastic changes, but they are people that you should lean into. Know your people in these spaces, in this corporate space. And really know, if you just don't hear anything that I say, you are not alone in how you feel, in your fatigue, even just almost experiencing trauma. And again, I am talking to very specific people. And if you know and you're nodding your head, then you know. If you're not nodding your head, I am not talking to you. But I just felt it in my heart to share that. Whenever you are seeing this message, if it resonates with you, I hope that it's just in time, because I know I needed to hear this today. I need to know that I'm not in this by myself. And I want to make sure that every woman out there that works in this corporate space, and it's unique. And I know some of you might say, well, why don't you just go be an entrepreneur and do all the things? Yeah. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to people that are in this space. And I just want to share some love. And I want you to know that I see you, even if I have no idea who you are. I know your story. I know your journey. And I'm with you. So I hope this just feels right for the person that was meant to see it today. Have a good one. Bye.
Those were amazing, conclusive statements. Yeah, so there's a price to pay. You've heard there's a price to pay, and also stay encouraged. And yeah, the fight has not started today, and yeah, we have to keep fighting until the victory is won. Yeah, there is all those pushbacks and stuff happening, but at the end of the day, you can't stay jobless, and that's the place you have to live, and that's where you are, and you have to accept that how the situation is, and accepting, and then find yourself ways to get out of it, to cope. That's the most thing I can say right here. They have said a lot that is so encouraging that I was just nodding my head. I appreciate that you spent your precious time with me. Goodbye for now.